Got some good vibes in the room. Got some bad.
I'm like, dang, where the bad
Got some
at?
bad.
Where the bad at? Oh, Cruella. Okay.
You know, shout out to the Giants. Shout out to the Giants. Shout out to everybody that's listening for the first time. You know what I mean? Live on Broadway podcast. You know, shout out to you guys. Shout out to everybody that this is actually their last time listening. Shout out to them too. You know what I mean?
Dang.
You know what I'm saying?
Keeping it real.
Oh, yo, man, we got to pull up with this shit. Yo, Meek, what's up, man? Hey, you see the landscape we dealing with? You know, these unstable creatures. You know what I'm saying? You know, we got some unstable ones. You know, we got some people from Brooklyn over here. You know what I'm saying? And then we got, you know.
And we got what?
And then you got, you know, and then you got us.
We got us,
and then
right?
you got us.
Bonnie and Clyde right
you know,
here.
we holding this down.
Bada bing, bada boom.
You know what I mean?
Look at you guys talking about.
Listen, and you know my guy. We got, you know. We gave out a few names earlier, so it wouldn't be right. You know, my guy Brooklyn Pisces popped in. We gonna call him. We gonna call him the Pink Panther.
Yeah. March and February.
I'm Bonnie and Clyde. This Bonnie and Clyde right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, so listen, man. It's a lot of jokes behind the scenes, man. A lot that you guys miss. That actually happened. So, you know, to our podcast listeners, our YouTube viewership, you know, if you in town, if you in, you know, New York, you know, shoot us a line at Live on Broadway podcast DM. We'll get you up, bring you up. You know what I mean? So shout out to that. Oh, hey, listen, man. You know, I mean, you know, we out here working. March 28th. You know, we out here working. We shooting Live on Broadway podcast for network television.
Dope.
You know what I mean?
That's dope.
So shout out to us there. You know what I mean?
That is dope.
You know what I mean? March 28th, we getting everybody. We doing our pilot episode. You know, so I'm getting tuned with Live on Broadway podcast on the gram and DM us if you know what I mean, see it be fit that you be there. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Admission is free. You know what I mean? You just got to RSVP by way of the gram, and you know, so this is dope. You know, we wouldn't be doing this with any other group of people other than you guys. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So round of applause for LOBP. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
Dopeness. I love it.
We working. So look, let's keep that same energy and pull up with the shit. Y'all ready?
Yes.
I feel like it's gonna be some Prince cards on this one, boy. Interracial dating.
Okay.
Regarding your culture, how do you feel about a woman? How do you feel about a woman? Men, y'all reverse it. How do you feel about a woman dating outside of it? If you're black, how do you feel about a black woman dating a white nigga? You know what I'm talking about? If you're Russian, how do you feel about the person that you're dating the person of the opposite sex of your culture? How do you feel about them dating outside of your culture? You know what I'm saying? Talk to me, huh? Talk to me.
I feel it ain't my goddamn business. It's not my business to pay attention to who someone else is dating. Now let me say this though. I love my black kings. Right, I think. Anyway, I had a moment. I apologize.
Mandingo.
But you're Mandingo. But listen, if another culture swept me off my feet unexpectedly, I wouldn't be against it either. Like, it's not about just white. Could have been any race. You understand? I wouldn't even discriminate.
All right, spin the mic.
I agree with Harmony. I'm like, sometimes you can't, go against who you love, and it's nobody.
So you taking white sausage?
No.
Let's just get to the are you taking white sausage? Like Harmony. I can't even see you taking nothing lighter than your skin tone. The fuck?
Hold on a minute there. Hold on a minute there, sir. First of all, I watch white porn.
Baby boy.
Shut your blood clot mother. I said what I said. I said what I said unapologetically. Listen, there's some white boys out
We
here.
learning a lot about Ruby tonight.
I don't care. It's some white boys out here slanging. You hear me? And I take it all down. Yes, the fuck I
All
would.
right, pass the mic, 'cause this shit becoming the fuck.
Well,
I said for anybody else, it's none of my business, but I'm not sleeping with a white man. I'm sorry. Sorry,
Okay.
not sorry.
what you said? No pig dick?
No,
Never mind.
no pig dick.
No pig weight.
No, I'm sorry. Give me a nigga.
Yo, pass the mic, yo.
I'm sorry.
Pass the mic.
I did say I didn't know what would come out of my mouth.
I'm talking
Right,
about
right, I know.
Or I
Respect
can't
the
be
mic.
a wet chicken, so I'm good. I mean,
Yo, listen. The views and opinions of the Live on Broadway podcast Giants does not directly reflect those that are Live on Broadway.
Oh, now we
The
got a
opinions of the Live
disclaimer.
on Broadway podcast Giants does not reflect what the Live on Broadway podcast staff. Okay.
but as far as dating outside of your race,
What's your Instagram name so they could
Pink
so they could
Sapphire,
fire so they could
PINKSAFYRE.
hit you up on the gram.
That's all right. That's cool.
He said, slide in my D.
Slide in them. So anyway,
I'll tell you who won't be sliding in.
Wow.
that's fine too. But as far as dating outside of your race, I don't have a problem with it as long as it's not coming from an inner self-hatred point of view, because a lot of times when you talk to, particularly, I'm going to keep it on reverse, black men
it
who
100.
date white women, it's always some kind of inner hate psychology behind that. So
Right.
I'm not with that, because you came from a black woman.
Why you always
I ain't lying.
She's talking about
It ain't lying. It ain't lying.
Thank you very much.
Keeping
Thank you very
it
much.
real.
Dennis Rodman.
Any hoes that I don't, any hoes figuratively and literally, I knock loose. It had nothing to do that was of being having hate towards my my African American queen.
Some. Yes. Right?
Okay.
I said some.
Okay. I digress. I missed that word. Boy, if you ever find my eyes, it'd be like taking the sun from the sky. All right, go. What's the next line? Hey,
Hey. Who sing this?
your life.
I don't feel like a girl right now. Dang. What song was that? I don't feel like a girl right now in this room.
Monica. That's Monica or Keisha Cole. Talk to her. Kiki, respect the mic. Talk to her.
Well, dating out of my race is not for me. Love a black man, love black love, but that's me. What somebody else does, that's on them. I'm not going to judge you, but for me, black all day.
Round of applause. I appreciate that. Shout out to Queen Jamila.
Ew.
Talk. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Let's do
Yeah,
it.
from hey,
And your
listen.
name is not Vladik.
Нет. Вообще то это закон.
I'm sorry.
Yo,
No, because that's how we
talk
talk.
to me, Trusty Fuzz.
Yeah.
What's your Instagram name for the viewers and listeners? Talk to me, King.
So I'm Trusty Funds.
Yes. Respect the mic, guys.
I'm Trusty Funds with the Z.
All right, just ignore her. Right, thank you. Ignore her, King. Ignore her. Talk to us.
So yeah, as far as interracial dating,
Yes.
I'd say I'm indifferent. I had my phases where I believed only in dealing with the black woman,
Yeah, yeah.
and I still lean that way. I most likely always will. But I would say this. This queen actually beat me to it.
Yeah.
I share her sentiments. If a person's purpose for dating outside of their race is coming from a place of self-hatred or something that isn't related to genuine love, then it's not only is it disservice to both parties, it's
It is a service to yourself.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do it, just genuinely be in love, and also don't just get a white girl as an example because
Yeah.
she's white. There are many guys I see who just look like they're dating a white woman just because she's white. And-
Well,
and she'll look- and she'll
also
look like
to dovetail that with there's also a lot of black men that I'm gonna the elephant in the room say
gotcha.
There's a lot of black men that date white women because they feel like white woman is a token of what success looks like.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Let's keep it a band.
And I wanted
so.
to-
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I think to Pink Sapphire's point, there's a lot of men out here like don't date outside your race for the wrong reason. If you're
Right.
gonna date outside your race, and that's what you're saying, right? like date because that's what you're naturally attracted to and that's what you're into.
All right.
or it just so happened that way. And
Right.
No,
also-
it just so happened that way.
and also at least get a white woman that looks good.
Right. Get a banging one, right?
Keep that same.
Get you one that they gonna look
And I'm
for.
gonna drop
If she
the mic,
go
walk
missing,
away.
they gonna look for her. If she go missing.
Right.
Get one
right.
that they
talk,
gonna
talk
look
to me.
for.
Talk to me, Quinn. How you feel about that?
Well,
How you
I'm-
feel?
go ahead.
Just for the Giants that's just popping in, we talking about interracial dating. Regarding your culture, how do you feel about a woman, if you're a man, or if you're a man, a woman, vice versa? How do you feel about them dating outside of their culture? How do you feel about a woman dating a white guy, a black woman dating a white guy, or if you're white, a white woman dating a black guy? You know what I mean? How you feel about it, Queen?
Well, from my upbringing, it's a norm to me because my mother is Italian and Jewish, and my father is black. So I never seen it, like it's a big thing. Started when I dated and like outside of my, I would say culture, like Haitian or Jamaican or things of that nature. I would say sometimes you just don't fit in. So it's good to kind of stay in the means of an American if you are American. I personally feel because again, you just don't fit in.
All right, now. All right, so your Instagram.
So I'm not really
is,
color. It's
Okay.
just more culture for me.
So your Instagram is SGBK.
SGRANDBK.
All right,
S
cool.
Grand BK.
S Grand BK. All right, cool. So here's the monkey wrench, right? You know, I gotta
Oh, it.
throw a little one in there. What's your spirituality background?
Pentecostal.
Okay, so could you date a Muslim?
Never.
So, all right.
Oh, I got something for y'all.
All right, so
I'ma blow y'all
so
mind.
here we go. Respect the mic. The reason why I'm asking that is because is spirituality a reflection of culture, on the opposite side of the spectrum? Like, so if you're of Pentecostal spiritual background, could you say you couldn't date a Muslim? So
Right.
is that in other words a way of you saying, well, if I identify as being a black woman, I couldn't date a white man because I know I'm being long-winded because it's like the Donald Trump thing. It's like people will say, I don't support Donald Trump, but then they'll also be like, well, the economy hasn't been in better position since Donald Trump's been in office. So it's like you're saying one thing, but your actions are really showing something else.
So the thing is, a lot of people are always with the, black woman, white woman thing. You're forgetting about people like us who are mixed, who are being pulled both ways.
But what do you
understand?
but what do you identify
Speak
as?
on the
We
mixture.
identify
Hold on, guys,
ourselves-
respect the mic. What do you identify as?
as mulatto. So when people go, you know, and I feel left out sometimes too. Even like my husband, he is a black strong man, and we've been together 15 years. And there has come times where people look at
Shout out to
him
Black Love.
and be like, you know, then they see my mother come around. My mother's white as hell, but she can cook up some curry chicken in a minute. But they'll be like, oh, you know, like people look, you know, the same way with my sister. She's whiter than me, but her husband is black.
Bernie Mac black.
And then it's like, huh?
It's a mixture.
Yeah.
Italian.
They can't hear you if you ain't got a mic. Harmony asks, what's mulatto?
So it's a mixture of like, you know, black and white. So like I said, us people, like nobody kind of acknowledges us. It's always, oh, I need a strong black woman. I need a strong white woman.
Well.
We're in the middle.
Oh, you know what happens?
I have a remedy.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Queen. I have a remedy for that, right? The reason why I don't think, I mean, like, respect due to everybody out there that's mixed, right? But it's like saying, what is a Puerto Rican or what is it? You're black.
Facts.
Like if you
It's the culture, though.
if you yeah, but
Right.
if you and that's you know, I had this idea earlier actually. There's people out here that don't
I love it.
that have mixed, you know, that was raised in the mixed culture. However, if you're like what's that chick name with the white with the white hair? Chill, guys. With the white hair, Rachel. Thank you. She said she actually identifies as being black. Am I quoting that correct? Right. So she identifies as being black, but she looks white as fuck.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So.
Facts.
That's my.
Well,
they can't hear
let's
you if
say
you
I'm
ain't got a mic.
Jamaican.
So
Right.
Prince, the Brooklyn Pisces said
She is
because she is white, but she identifies as being black.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So your culture is, and I know this might, you know, ruffle, might be a hot take or of some sort or another, but your culture is what you identify as. Like if that's like the battle rapper nigga
Why
that just
you
came out, and
always-
this might be over your heads, but the battle rap culture, some white dude just said nigga, and the nigga that was in the back punched him dead in the face.
Ooh,
You know what I
Chappelle
mean?
him?
Huh?
Chappelle him.
Chappelle them. You know what I mean? But I mean, listen, I ain't gonna be long winded.
Right. But I never dated a white man. I never dated anything outside of African American. I'm never turned on from anything
Yeah.
lighter than me.
Right.
So
Have you ever identified as? Because to me, and you know, whatever. You know, I respect your culture, but to me, it sounds like you identify as being black, but you know that you're mixed.
well, when I fill out my forms, it says white because you are what your mother is. But I identify myself as mixed.
Okay.
In the Jewish culture, that's what they.
Right.
In the Jewish culture, you are what your mother is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
No, that's a fact. The mother's the goddess. My dad is a well-known historian, so from the time that I was like really young, I knew a lot about things that I probably shouldn't have known about. Not that I shouldn't have known about. It's important to know about these things. My dad is Muslim and my mom's is Christian. Yeah. So I'm the product of a Christian and Muslim baby.
Household.
Yeah, household. And then on top of that, my father's mother, she's American Indian. And my grandfather is a black Cuban, real dark. So when my grandfather got with my grandmother, it was like an abomination because they have set up marriages with the Indians that, you know, they try to keep it in the culture. So when my grandfather married my grandmother, he had to take her from Chattanooga and bring her to New York because the family, you know, they wasn't really with it. But he had to prove that he was able to take care of her. My grandfather was actually an engineer for NASA, you know what I'm saying? And he also had served in World War II. This is my dad's father.
Yeah.
And so like him being a black Cuban guy that speaks Spanish, you know, he's real dark. You would identify with him as being a black man until he opened his mouth. You understand what I'm saying? And if you heard him speak Spanish, you're like, oh, okay, black people, they do that? Like, yeah, we do. So a lot of people don't know we the origin of this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? We are the alpha. So when it's a dating out of the race, the dating out of the race would be the white man or the white woman because that's out of our race. Yellow, red, they all belong to us. You know what I'm saying? We are the founding mother and fathers of all these races. That's why when, like...
Hold on, Queen.
Go ahead.
You know, and I know you don't know this your first time on LOBP, but you know, my OG told me when you say something real, you got to say it again.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So say that shit louder for the people in the back.
We are the founding mothers and fathers of this whole thing. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, like, even though you're mixed, we're all mixed. You know what I'm saying? Because when you start knocking back to the great-great-great-grandfather that was out there messing around, picking up Sally Mae out the cotton bush, like, come here, give me that. You know what I'm saying? Your whole life. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it gets trickled down. So, you know, even though it might not show up, you had invisible people back then that looked more white than black. And how things went back then, they would ask you, who's your dad? Because they had to get your father's permission to marry you. You know what I'm saying? So if you're a mulatto, right, and your dad was white and your mom is black, you could fake the funk, but when it's time to get married, that's when the buck's gonna stop. You know what I'm saying? Because now I gotta ask dad for your hand in marriage, and dad ain't gonna say he's your dad.
Well, look, right, like inside of this, right, I want to bring a few things to you guys' attention. You know, you have Jenny Mae and Jeezy,
right?
You know what I mean? They look adorable as a couple. You know what I mean? Then you have Chrissy Teigen and John Legend. You know what I'm saying? You have Rihanna and the billionaire Hassan Jamel. Yeah, but they was together. That's the point.
You had Beyonce and Beyonce's mother and father.
That there too.
Right.
You know, and then you have Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. You know what I'm saying? She's a black woman, although, you know what I mean, because her mother is black.
Right.
You know what I mean? And if you chop it down, going back to your point, and the reason why I thought this was an interesting topic to have on LOBP is because I feel like, well, you know what? Let me not give the next segment away. Live on Bro. You need a mic.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't even say my
Hold on,
shit.
no. Go ahead. Spin a mic, though. You spin a mic.
I got
No.
so,
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, go ahead, King. We'll wrap up after her.
all right, so what I was gonna say was, you know, y'all getting so deep in shit, and you know, I don't give a fuck about nothing what y'all talking about right now.
Do
You know I had to
it.
do it.
Do it, Pisces.
I'm fucking Asian, white,
All
black, all that shit. If I have my girl, everybody getting it. All flavor,
Everybody
31
getting
flavors,
shot.
everybody getting that
Right.
shit.
Fuck.
I don't give a fuck what my black woman think. I'm going to
Keep
fuck
that
in.
same
You know what I'm
energy.
saying?
Yes.
That's how I feel.
Yes.
That how when I'm gonna date, I gotta date a black woman because that's what I am right now.
Come on, Pisces.
But she's mixed.
Hard
You know what I'm saying? So I got all of them in one, you know, as
Nothing
is.
wrong
You
with
know
that.
what I'm saying?
Right.
Go ahead, Harmony, do your fucking thing.
Real quick, I mean, with the way things are today, if we really keeping it real, we're really because they touched on some serious shit, and I'm at the same point as you, but I'm just wondering, are people dating for acceptance of the outside world, or are you dating for internal happiness? Because let me
Right.
tell you something, I don't look for the outside world for acceptance, advice,
keep
anything,
that
or
same
what's
energy.
happening within my circle. You understand? The only person that could break my circle is if we allow somebody to break it.
That's a fact.
So worrying about if my daddy, Pookie, and them gonna like him, I don't care. I have zero fucks given about
That's
that,
a
and I
fact.
just feel like there's so much pressure in the world, like when cultures tell you have to date within a certain race, maybe that's not what you wanted to do,
Right.
but
Yeah.
you're forced to do it because of peer pressure, because of the family pressure. I think that's disgusting.
Well, you want to hear something about numbers? Because I do a lot of research and reading, and they was actually saying that in the dating world that the white men would rather date every other culture other than their women, right? And I don't know if you ever seen this short film called Uncle Tom's Cabin, but it's I don't know, but anyway. But they were doing like numbers, and they were saying that the black man, he goes after, they're the ones that go after the white women, and I forgot, I think Asians. They said the Asians and the black guys are the ones that are dating the white women, and that the white men are dating every other nationality except their own. And this is through the database of these dating sites that's going on. And this dates back to even when they were picking them out, you know, or when they had their wives in the house and the wives couldn't make babies,
Gotcha.
they'd be out there, you know, breeding these black women. And they had this thing on Friday where they called Mammy's Closet. And Mammy would pull 12-year-old girls, 11-year-old girls out of the closet and send them to master. A little thing for Black History Month.
Right.
And, you know, they would sleep with these young women and they would trick their minds into having them believe that they were doing something that was right. And the master would be like, no, I'm pushing you off of me. I don't want it. But it was like role play. You know what I'm saying? It was like the little girl's coming on to me, but it was role play. You know what I'm saying? But they always liked the dark meat. So they said at the table, they said Friday was for the dark meat. Darky!
Look, Giants, Live on Broadway podcast. Y'all know the vibe. We get into the smoke. You know what I'm talking about? Every Monday, 7 p.m.-ish, 9 p.m.-ish. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about.
Well, history,
You know what I mean? You know, but let's pull up and get in with the shits because you know, that was the perfect segue to get into what I want to end with. Live on Broadway podcast. Pull! Clear!
Pop out with us. You are now locked into the hottest thing in the streets. Live on Broadway podcast. Let's talk about it.
Came from the gut.